Hi, my name is Jeanette, and I want to thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So today is day 10 of Bookmas. If you haven't seen any of my Bookmas videos, the playlist will be linked in the description below, and day 1 talks about the envelopes and how it's working. So I'm just going to get right into it and open this envelope. Jane Reads Gift Guide. 3 books you recommend for contemporary romance lovers. Ooh. Okay, contemporary romance. Okay, so I've taken a look at my shelves and I don't actually have very many physical copies of contemporary romance books that I loved. Like I'm shocked. I'm shocked, but I'm not shocked because I knew I had a lot of suspense books on my shelf, and that's really what I have. But I did find one contemporary romance that I rated 5 stars, and it is called The Two of Us by Victoria Bylin. I think that's how you say her name. I loved this story. And it is after two broken engagements, Maya Robinson is done with dating. From now on, she's focused on God and her goal to join an international aid organization as a nurse practitioner. But when her 18-year-old sister, Lucy, calls with an invitation to her Vegas wedding, it throws a wrench into Maya's plans. Jake Tanner has recovered from the injuries he sustained as a police officer on the outside. Inside, he's yet to heal from losing his partner in the tragedy. But he finds some solace in keeping an eye on her young adult son, Sam, who asked him to be the best man at his wedding. Maya expects a mess when she arrives to sort out the situation with Lucy, but she wasn't expecting Jake, who views the marriage a little differently. As Jake's and Maya's lives slowly become more intertwined, could his courage and her caring heart be enough to bring them a lifetime of healing? So, yeah, these two people meet under friends getting married, family friends getting married, and they have very different views about the wedding, and it goes from there. I loved this story. This was the first book I'd ever read by this author, and I have picked up more since. I haven't fallen in love with them as much as I did this book, but I love this book. So then we're going to go on to ones that I've read all on my Kindle. And these are ones that I've all read this year. So the next 2 books I'm going to recommend are by Carla, Laureano. So the first book is 5 Days in Skye. This one is set mainly in Scotland, and this was my 3rd time reading this book this year. I have read it 2 times prior, and I loved it just as much this time as I did before. The main character is Andrea, who is a hotel consultant. She comes over and meets with James, who is a cook and a business manager or business owner of this hotel that they're trying to get started up. So they meet in a business capacity and feelings develop. It is so entertaining to watch them interact, and with the family, with James's family that gets involved. I love this story. It's such a sweet, sweet story. And then the second book by Carla Laureano that I absolutely loved this year was Provenance. So this one features Kendall, who is an interior designer, Gabe Brandt, who is the mayor of Jasper Lake, and the main setting is set in Jasper Lake, Colorado. So Kendall discovers that she grew up in foster care and is living in LA and running her own business. And she gets willed this house or group of houses in Colorado. And she's like, how did I inherit this? What? So she goes to Colorado with the intentions of selling it off. But Gabe, the mayor, is like, no, there's potential. Can't you see the potential? Because if you sell it off, this is what's going to happen. So he's very determined to get her to see the potential in the houses rather than selling it off to a developer who's just going to ruin the town in Gabe's mind. And I loved the setting, the characters, and the patience of Gabe, and to show Kendall God and the faith and the love, and just, yeah, she has struggled growing up in foster care. She has struggled with not being wanted, being abandoned, being right, and then so they kind of find out more of her background and her story, and I loved this story. And I mean, the fact that it was set in Colorado just was, I don't know, it's one of those idyllic settings to me that just, yeah. So the third book I'm going to mention, which is actually a series, and it's the Laurel Cove romance series by Teresa Tysinger. It is a 4-book series. I gave 5 stars to 3 books, and the 4th book I gave 4 stars, which was book 2. So I gave 1, 3, and 4 5 stars, and then book 2 I gave 4 stars. I didn't connect with the characters in book 2 as much as I had with the other books. That's all. But each of the 4 books has a main couple. So each book is a different main couple. But because they all take place in the same small town, the couples from previous books are shown, or secondary characters like community members play roles in each of the book and are repeated throughout the different books. So you see recurring characters from one book to the next, which I absolutely love. I love when you get to know a community and constantly see those people show up in other books. Yeah. And each book is a standalone romance. They don't really know each other at the beginning, or it's second chance, or just in various aspects. And they grow, and each book is filled with faith, either strengthening their faith, learning about God, seeing God at work, or turning to God for help. Like it's very faith based, and I love that. And each story is so sweet. Yeah. I loved this series, and I did a full series review video about this series, so I will link that in the description below, and you can go back and see kind of further thoughts on this series. So she said to recommend 3 books. I recommended 3 authors under the contemporary romance. That's 3 books, right? So again, The Two of Us by Victoria Bylin. I read this a few years ago. This is not one I've read recently, but I do plan on rereading it because I really enjoyed this story. Then I recommended 2 books by Carla Laureano, and that was 5 Days in the Skye and Provenance. And then the Teresa Tysinger series, Laurel Cove Romance. So those are my contemporary romance recommendations for this video. I want to thank you for joining me today, and tune back in tomorrow for day 11. Thank you. Bye.